I'm, going door to door. I was so nervous and I was like, this is not for me. I cannot do this. I'll come back if I come back. Well, a couple of months ago, one of my friends said, hey, I'm getting these people are in like Family First. And is it true that they're making like 10,000, 16,000 every single weekend? I'm like, yeah, I see that, but it's face to face. And he was like, well, see if they have telesales and if we can do it because of COVID. So I hit up Albert and he was like, girl, we have it. And I'm like, yes.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Elite Sales Podcast. Very happy to have you guys on here. I just want to go over a couple quick things. We have brand new agents submitting business for the first time. We have Camille Oakes working with John Bacaron here. Also, by the way, in studio, I have John Bacaron, Executive Vice President of FFL Elite Syndicate. Nice. And we got Solomon Miller. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Hey.
Do you like people when people talk about that, or?
I don't mind.
I mean,
it's well earned.
Okay.
Just like Elite itself, you got to put time in to earn the title.
Got to put in the work, right?
One step at a time.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. Some people like to shy away from that stuff, so I don't know. But I just threw it out there anyway because I'm inconsiderate.
Thank you, Albert. It's all good.
All right. Good.
Absolutely.
Cool. We'll get back into that a little bit more, but happy to have you here. And then we got engineering this week. We got Yoel Ainalam.
Yo,
the best in the business. All right. So we got Camille Oakes working with John Bacaron, first time submitting. So great job to you, Camille. We have Jonathan Reynoso working with Romeo. Great job to you guys. And we have Brent Rhoda working with Jason Khodadadian. So great job to all of you guys. Brent. Very exciting to see new people submitting business for the first time. Also, we have a couple Road to Hall of Fame meetings coming up for anyone that's interested, anyone that hasn't hit Hall of Fame yet. This is hosted by Sean Mike. He's going to be doing in various parts of the country. The parts I saw so far I think there's one in Austin, Texas. There's one coming up in San Diego, which Dominic Rogers has a grand opening March 7th, which we will be attending. So there's a Road to Hall of Fame meeting there. There's one in Boca Raton. I think there's one in Kansas City. So throughout the country. So if you guys need any information about those, you're interested in attending, we'll post it on the group chat. Also, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. But also, I was up in Apple Valley yesterday at Paul McLean's office for FFL West Coast. Mm-hmm. Sean Mike was in town. We had a couple board members and VPs, integrity partners. They came in. We got a chance to sit down, talk, record some podcasts. Sean did a business development meeting, and this is funny. I was sitting there, with all the recent changes about how we're going to promote the company and things we're going to focus on, things we're not going to focus on. He was going to record a new BDM because a business development meeting because it's been a while. And that's, I remember I was sitting in the back with my man, Bruce Williams, who's actually going to be here next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But we were just sitting talking. I'm like, hey, I'm like really interested how Sean Mike's going to do this new BDM. Mm-hmm. I wonder like what he's going to cut out, what he's going to add in, how different it's going to be. I'm like, I'm really curious because like I want to make sure I can adapt everything to be able to do one myself, if need be. Mm-hmm. And I sat through the whole thing. I'm like, I nudged Bruce and I was like, he didn't change anything. It's the same thing. Right? So the thing is like, we overthink a lot of things and, we get new data, we get new information. And then all of a sudden we start to overanalyze things. And then we start trying to change things. So I personally haven't done any of them, obviously, but also, I'm sure if the moment came and I had to do it, I would do it, but I just overthought it. And I'm like expecting something like brand new and absolutely nothing changed. So
what really changed? I mean, nothing.
He talks about the five or six main things about the company, and it is what it is. Hasn't changed.
Right.
Okay. So enough of me being stupid. But we wanted to have Solomon in today, not just because we're coming off the Super Bowl. Did you enjoy the game?
Yes, I did. It's an extremely good game. Very competitive. It was a very, very close game. It could have went either way, as you noticed.
Yeah.
But I had a great time.
Yeah, close. I mean, it was a pretty low scoring game, but it was close at the end. That made it exciting. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you since we alluded to the whole Super Bowl thing.
Okay, my name is Solomon Miller. I grew up here in Southern California. Attended Utah State University, went on from there to New York Giants, got drafted 6th round. From that point on, the journey began from that point. The NFL stand for not for long, as you noticed. So I had to look for a backup road runner of employment. So I went on to real estate, did that for a matter of like 12 to 15 years. And the implosion took place in 2008. Just bring everything full circle. I decided to give life insurance a challenging test. And comparison to real estate and life insurance, I think, and I feel right now, this is the place to be for myself. Absolutely. Because the unity and effort and hard work is highly gratifying once you reach certain goals, like you do in any other life of a career. It's been challenging, but yet very blissful. It's like work hard and remain humble. And I like that aspect of it. And I look forward to growing with the company.
Right. Now you're working full time at another job, and recently, what happened?
Oh, wow. That story. Oh, you got to go flip circle.
No, you don't have to tell us the whole story. But
Yeah.
What do you feel comfortable?
The summary of it.
Yeah, I'll summarize it. Basically, I was working 80 hours every 2 weeks, and I decided to go full time day before yesterday. So
Congrats.
you'll see. Thank you. So you'll see me in this office quite frequent on a regular basis. I'm looking forward to big things happening. And based on seniority and not being control your own destiny, and someone else is controlling your destiny, I don't think that's appropriate. Only person to do that is God Almighty, as we know.
That's right.
But I decided to come here, and I'm putting in my 80 hours here to reap God blessings, rewards that He put installed within us. So I'm here right now. I'm looking forward to excelling with everyone.
That's right.
Nice.
Looking forward to getting you in full time. And Solomon's already kind of hung around. You went to the Miami convention. You stayed with us.
Yeah.
Went to Miami convention, had a great time with my affiliates and my roomies and my captains, my leaders, and my new business partners. And it was amazing. Amazing turnout. First convention center, first convention. It was a blast. I met so many influential, positive, from novice to beginners to Hall of Famers to the equality is equal yoke, because anyone can be in that position at any given time. Right. So thank you for hosting me and having me at the house. I appreciate it. And just making an effort and learning more about just yourself and about others. That's the way to go.
Yeah. While business is very important and having, our professional relationships, I mean, it's kind of cool, here at the Elite family to like have these events, where we can see each other outside of work, spend a little bit of time, just get to know people personally. I mean, not that it's necessarily required, because there's plenty of businesses where they don't have any personal interaction, and you can still build a strong business and you can do all that. But I think that's kind of always what made us a little bit unique.
Right.
I mean, for those that want to participate, if you don't want to participate, that's entirely your choice. No big deal, no hard feelings. But it was really kind of cool just hanging out outside of work, because we've talked plenty before we left for a convention. True. But then to actually like spend like basically a week together.
Yeah.
It's like the real world.
Is that what got you to go full time? What was going through your head after convention?
Well, that was an initial push, as a breakthrough. It's kind of like a reset caliber. Sometimes you need to go somewhere that you're not used to and get into the uncomfortable position to reset your mind and focus and see what you really want within your heart, what you want. And once you fulfill that obligation, that idea based on what you have already on the West Coast, because I was on the East Coast. I had a job working 80 hours. I was like, I don't care for this position anymore. And also the energy of the atmosphere of my employer, my employment there was not really positive. The energy was negative. I was dreading going there. So I know definitely I needed to change and step over the hurdle and stay on one side of the hurdle. I can't straddle both fences anymore. If you're going to be successful at anything, you got to dive in 100%. I feel personally. Right. That's a personal choice for me. So it's time now. And I did it, like I said, 48 hours ago, and I feel good about it. Yeah. Actually great about it.
Yep. And you're in here dialing today, right?
Yes, dialing right now.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think you came in the office the other day, and you were talking to Yoel, who's been helping around everyone with the office.
You have been amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yoel.
Of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he hasn't started officially, but he's already helping people out.
Look at you.
Head of the game.
Champion.
Good job, Yoel.
No, but I mean, like, it's funny. Yoel and I will joke about it, because all the content he's building, like sometimes he'll come back and be like, I feel like I know this product already. I feel like I know all about this, whatever that topic is. But one thing that Yoel texted me when I think you guys were here in the office, and then you were like, hey, can we make some time to go over lead strategy? So, that actually segues perfectly what we're going to be talking a little bit about today, which is about leads. And then, I don't know, leads are just something that, it gets you a place to go, a person to talk to, a name on a sheet of paper,
right?
Something. So, and then, people can argue all day long about, oh, I'd rather have like less leads and the better qualified leads. I'd rather pay more. I'd rather pay a little bit less, get more quantity, whatever it is. But, a lead is a lead is a lead is a lead is a lead.
Yep. And FFL has a lot of it.
They got a lot of it and a lot of different options.
Yep.
So the thing is, if you say a certain lead type doesn't work for you, cool, go find another one.
Right.
There's like plenty out there. All right. Now the thing is about a lead is if you don't have any leads, it's gonna make your job extremely difficult. I mean, as far as running a business, you can make a few sales here and there, but the whole point of this is not to chase paychecks. It's not to just make a paycheck here and there whenever you need it, then take time off and then you're struggling again. It's to develop and build something consistent.
Yeah.
And for you to be able to do that, you have to have consistent lead flow. Okay. Now it doesn't matter what it is, what type of lead you're using specifically, but I mean, the general thing, if you went to convention, you listen to top producers, you listen to top managers, everyone says you got to spend a week on leads.
Right.
Minimum in a week if you want to hit Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right. And, so when we're talking about lead strategy, I think this is a kind of a good topic to kind of start anyone that's new on here. If you want to learn a little bit more about the different types of leads. So we got a few guests on. We got Landon Jones coming up.
Hey,
we have Christy Fulton coming up. So, we'll hear from them from their at different levels of the business compared to where we all are. So everyone has like a little bit of a different perspective and everyone has a different preference. So, I think it'd be good for everybody to hear. So as far as lead strategy, I mean, buy them.
Yeah.
That's the first strategy. But it's have enough money to be able to consistently reinvest back into it. It's not just a one-shot deal and then you stop buying them. Okay. Now, Yoel, you're about to start. What would be your lead strategy?
What's going to be my lead strategy? I mean, I'm gonna really, I from previous experience, I'm not gonna really overthink it. I'm gonna just kind of diversify, I think is what I'm gonna do. I mean, we're gonna obviously be in talks as far as what to get, but I'm gonna start with the CRM just because I think that's the easiest. And for me, I remember having quote unquote leads, but they weren't even life insurance leads.
Yeah.
So for me, I come at it with a different perspective that I think some people that haven't had experience previously come at it, which is like, that lead is just an excuse for you to present in front of them or on the phone or Zoom. So like, it's funny. I was talking in the office with a different agent from a different team, Bar, and he was like talking to them and they weren't remembering what it was about, but he already had the appointment set. I was like, dude, stop. Like, just book the appointment, confirm the address. And if they know you're coming over, then you're good to go. And he already did that. But then she's like, what is this again? It's like,
he was over explaining, huh?
Yeah, he was like trying to sell and like explain it on the phone. I was like, dude, stop. Just get out there. The lead is an excuse to present. That's how I see it. Yeah. And that's how it always was. Like, I think like other people, they have a different perspective on it, but that's always been our perspective. Right. I think coming from where we all came from. Yeah. So it's just an excuse to present to them, right?
Yeah. For us, I mean, for those that don't know, I mean, we were given X amount of leads every month, and then they determine where you're going to get them, how many you're going to get, what's in their inventory. So I mean, like anytime we have an opportunity here to even have the opportunity or the privilege to be able to buy leads, it's a good thing. Yeah. Most people look at it like, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to have to put it. Do I have to put up my own money? What if they don't work? Whatever. We're like, cool. As long as we keep giving ourselves more opportunities, I'm all in.
Dude, I'm looking to spend probably a week on leads minimum.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to really go hard because why not? If I believe in myself and I do believe in myself, then I'm going to make it happen.
And you already started saving for this, and
100%.
Okay,
100%.
Cool. So when we talked a little bit, I mean, did you set up a lead strategy with Solomon?
Not yet. He had some leads. I think you bought leads a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just like going through the CRM and he was dialing away, kind of working on what to do and how to say it and stuff like that. But we got to dive deeper into it.
Cool.
Yeah.
What type of leads did you start with, Solomon?
Well, I got internet leads. I got final expense leads. I got mortgage protection leads as well.
So just like a
So I
mixture
got
of everything off the CRM.
diversity of everything. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And today I got 2 appointments set up already, which is good right now.
Yeah.
And been in it. I got like about, I don't know, 40 dials,
Mhm.
2 appointments. So
That's
the numbers are in my
that's a
favor, I
That's a
think.
good pace.
So
Okay.
I'm just going to dial more. I figure, like I said, I work for an employer, put in 80 hours every 2 weeks. And I put in only 40 dials right now. I got 2 sit downs.
Right.
We got to do the math there.
Right.
Yeah. And it's funny because we were talking yesterday and he was like, yeah, when do you think I should call? Do you think, a lot of people, most people are usually home after 5. So maybe I should call at that time or like earlier in the day. I was like, why don't you just do both?
Yeah.
And then Solomon was like, dude, that's a good point.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
No, because he was like-
the light bulb went on. Like, yeah, why not? This isn't part-time. Your job.
There you go.
No, because and it's not to take away, because sometimes we do need someone to be like, dude, just do both, and then it just kind of clicks. It's like, dude, why am I overthinking this?
Yeah.
That's, I think, what was the biggest thing, where he was like, dude, I'm overthinking it. Like,
Yeah.
I just need to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes we have a tendency to overthink things, even though we know what we should be doing. Sometimes you need to be kind of like directed, addressed, or coached in that area, because we know what to do. Sometimes you need to see it, hear it, be around the energy,
Yep.
and then you feed off of that.
Right.
And you act accordingly.
Well, I mean, I think we all tend to naturally overthink things, because the only thing to keep us from overthinking, because we have time on our hands, we sit around, we have time to think. You start thinking about all these different scenarios, and then you start to overthink. So the way to get around that, you just got to take some action.
Yeah.
When you take action, like you made a decision which direction you're gonna go. It's like in football, you find the hole and you hit it, right?
Yeah.
Instead of dancing around, you're thinking like which way you're gonna go. That's when the defenders start coming, right?
Yes. And also you got to be able to audibilize
Right.
at the line of scrimmage,
Right.
like the Super Bowl.
Right.
There are a lot of audibilization going on there, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
switch it up.
Switch it up. Are you disability? Are you working? Are you married? You got to switch it up when a person trying to like hang up the phone there.
Right.
That's audible right there.
Right. So yeah, a lot. But the bottom line is we just got to take action.
Yeah. Action.
Take
Yeah.
action. Take the thinking out of it, or at least just go down that path first. If it doesn't work out, audibilize.
Audibilize. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I mean, John actually has some actual lead types that we were talking about earlier, but we'll get to that in a sec. Christy, are you on here?
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Christy,
Hey.
great to see you.
I feel so cool. Same thing with you guys. I like watching you guys all the time.
That's funny. So first of all, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everyone like how you and I met.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Christy. I actually started in 2020. My dad calls me and was like, I have this company. It's family first. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And he was like, they support the Dream Center. And I'm like, oh, we're really big on that. Where my parents were missionaries. So it was just something that just, giving, it's a really big deal to us. Well, around in 2020, you guys did a lot of face-to-face, and I was just not that type of person. I was the one who liked telesales. I'm really good. I feel like I have grown and actually developed my one sell call. I don't know what the word is, but and then just like automatically sell it. So I'm, going door to door. I was so nervous, and I was like, this is not for me. I cannot do this. I'll come back if I come back. Well, a couple of months ago, one of my friends said, hey, I'm getting these people are in like Family First. And is it true that they're making like 10,000, 16,000 every single weekend? I'm like, yeah, I see that, but it's face to face. And he was like, well, see if they have telesales and if we can do it because of COVID. So I hit up Albert and he was like, girl, we have it. And I'm like, yes.
I didn't say it like that, but I'll take it.
Girl.
That sounds like Albert.
So right now I'm selling Medicare, and come to find out, I'm definitely working a little too hard and making little pennies when, if I did it for myself, I would have made a lot more. But, aside the point, I don't want to be in Medicare anymore. But So I had this friend who just kept hitting me up saying, hey, Christy, let's go ahead and get it started. What do I need to do? I want to be at that, 100% commission, 110%, like just get me started. So we're getting the process, and 2-3 weeks before he starts signing up, he's like sending me screenshots of leads are scams. Family First is a scam. Family First is a joke. And I was like, are you kidding me? Do you want to just Google like Walmart's like review? 50% of them says that they're like a scam and people still shops over there. Like, what are you doing? So I kept on just overlooking what he said. Week 2, he did it again. Week 3, it was just nonstop every day. And I was like, okay, I'm getting tired of this. Like, you need to figure out whether or not you're going to do this or get out the boat, because you're not going to stop my momentum, because you're the one who pushed me to come back. And now I'm excited. So you're not going to stop me. I'm sorry. And so it's really cool. I actually forgot to tell you, Albert gave me like 1 year leads, cherry pick leads in 2020. I actually called some of those leads and I found one of them from like last week, I think. Like my biggest sell so far coming back was from like,
wow, nice.
A 2-year-old lead.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's insane. I bought some leads yesterday, really excited, but I actually, before the call, I actually booked 2 of the appointments for this weekend. Some of their numbers, people, they don't want to give all their information. So we have to work a little harder for them, but I love calling people. I like bothering them. I like to go for the no.
Yeah.
The more no's there are, the better, the yeses are worth the work.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
agree.
it. So
That's awesome.
So, for your friend, I mean, why do you think he was so hung up on these reviews?
Well, I just think it's just like, that was the thing that was bothering me. I told him, I was like, not everyone are for the phone. I'm not a person who's face to face. I still bound, policies in 2022, but I was not a face to face person. I did not know how to do it. You have people who are teachers and people who are nurses who don't know how to talk to people over the phone. I mean, I'm not saying that they're like all horrible at them, but I'm just saying like some people are not meant to be on the phone. Some people are not meant to work for themselves. Some people are comfortable with that middle class mindset. So if you have that middle class mindset and you're telling me that, these Family First leads are trash, well, then stay at that middle class mindset. It's not like you and I have both made over a 6-figure income selling insurance. Why are you going to have someone who has never made close to the same amount of money that you and I have made to create your decision on whether or not you're going to succeed in this business? And he was like, okay, fine. Send me the application. Shout out. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you actually called me about it because you're like, hey, this is what I'm gonna say. I don't know if I handled it correctly. I don't know if I went too far. And like you told me basically what you told me. And I'm like, that's perfect. I'm like, you're a new agent. I mean, you contracted a while back. You didn't do this, and then now you're back in because the circumstances have changed. You do recognize the opportunity, obviously, because you're able to articulate it pretty well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then now, you're in a position to be able to just recognize not everything you read is true.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
True. I mean, yes. So that's what you and I are talking about. I'm like, I don't know, like some guy on the internet wrote something. It's like, all right. Yeah. Is that true?
Whether it's credible or not. But if you're looking for a problem, you'll find it.
Right.
Yeah, that's facts.
Plus, I mean, we also have to always continuously look at the source.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, are we looking at a Hall of Fame producer that's out there talking to, like someone that we know has put in the work, someone that's put in the hours, someone that's spent the time, someone that's invested in different types of leads, because I don't know. I mean, we're old manager from our last company. My first time calling, I was terrible.
Yeah.
And I went through the leads. I handed it back to her. I'm like, should I throw these away? And then she's like, nope. And then she goes, call them back later. I'm like, oh, they said they're not interested. And she's like, it's not that they're not interested. It's just because you suck.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that you suck, but yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
And sometimes, believe it or not, it could be the way you're saying it. Look how, animated she is. Look how personable she is.
The energy.
Mm-hmm.
So her energy will reflect back on the client. But if you're brand new and you're like, I'm calling about the form you mailed in. Of course, they're gonna hang up on you.
Yeah.
So was it what you said is how you said it? So you will get better into this business.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, when my manager told me that I sucked, it's like I was like, I couldn't even argue it. I'm like, yeah, I probably do suck because I'm new.
Yeah.
It's my first time doing it, my first time ever calling. So I probably did suck, and I probably sucked for a while. And you suck a little bit less as you continue to do it, and you get to the point where you're decent, and then you become good if you actually put in the work and you put in the effort and you try to continuously improve.
Mhm.
It's not rocket science or anything like that.
Right.
So I mean, obviously you've shown your passion for the phones. So
Yes.
so you're also looking to build a team now, right?
Yes, sir. I sure am. I have 2 right now. I have a couple more trying to get into the process and getting started. I had one of my friends, she ends up picking me up. She's already signed up today, and she was like, Chrissy, I got fired. What am I supposed to do? And so I told her, I said, you know what? Call, I think it's Joanne, or is it Joan? I was like, call her. I can't do it right now. I can't I can't do like that middle teaching, introducing her. And so I was like, just call her real quick. Just ask her exactly what you need to do. And she like sends me the message. She's like, I can't find you as a direct upline. I'm like, just call her. I can't do anything right now. Like I'm in the middle of something, but teams are just trying to reach out to me, telling me when they're ready to join, asking me like, how do I buy leads, and how do I do this? And so I'm just creating like different scripts. I was telling Albert earlier, I've been watching Brandon Kitchen like crazy. I've watched 4 of his videos. I've literally like stopped and typed out his script verbatim, because I just really believe that he is like a kind gangster on the phone. Like he's like, this is what you need. And, if you need a quote, I'm not the quote man, because, what is it? Approvals pay and I was like, yes, that's what it means. Like you need to
Quotes don't pay death benefits.
Right. Don't be on the line wasting my time. If you just want to quote, go ahead and find somebody else. Like I was just like, wow, he's a kind gangster right there.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of went down this rabbit hole watching all the, because I sent you a couple of YouTube links from our, because you asked me some questions. You're like, hey, how do I do this, or where do I find this? And I'm like, start with these.
Right. And I just fell in love. Like that's watching him, and then like John, like, whoa, you ended up, I watched that video probably like 8 times already. And like, John's like, whoa, you really just get them on that hook. Like, oh, I can do it like right now, or, we're not going to end up just doing this in general. So like, I've watched that video. I'm like nervous, but it was such a great video. It actually motivated me to like work harder. I sent it to every single person that wanted to join. I said, this is how you need to be. Every single one of us have been on the phones for not just 1 or 2 years. Like the people that I'm bringing in, I have trained in insurance, not just like, health insurance, life insurance. I've also taught them in property and casualty. And perfecting and honing your skills on the phone is extremely important. Knowing what that person is saying, understanding the different tones in their voice is extremely important, and being able to observe that and turning that, insecurity or confusion around and letting them know that, hey, you still have the control, but I'm actually dictating this phone call.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's like a key point, because you're relatively new, and then sometimes you'll call me like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. Like, what if they ask me these questions? I'm like, send them to me, or just send them this video, or it's like there's no secrets out there. There's resources everywhere.
Yeah,
we can get all the answers that we want, as long as we continuously put in that work and just put in that time and just go and seek the answers. Like, we don't need to know everything. Like there's no point in knowing every single thing. You just need to know the things that make you money, focus on those things, and just keep directing people to people that do know what they're doing.
that's pretty good. Yeah, we'd love to have you back into the studio here, and you sound like you come from a lot of psychology of sales on the telephone. So that's something maybe a lot of brand new agents don't know about. Just the little things, but it's all the same process. It's a conversation with someone that is interested into the product, right?
Right. And it's also like also painting the picture for them, I believe, is a really crucial point. one of my closing theories is, hey, you know what? You don't need insurance today, but no one was prepared for COVID. No one was prepared for them to bury their, family members. Did you know COVID was happening? Did you know you had, your friends and family had to bury other people? I'm not trying to sound heartless, but you didn't know that was going to come. How do you not know when your death date's going to be, or your family's? Just make sure you protect yourself and the people you actually care about. That's really the important part. You just wondering whether or not you want to give me 5 minutes of your time is kind of selfish if you don't care about your family.
You really said that on the phone?
Sorry?
Have you said that on the phone?
I have. I've literally, just a little bit of a backstory. My dad's birthday was yesterday, so happy belated birthday.
Happy
But
birthday.
Birthday, do you know?
like years ago, he got into a severe accident, and I started understanding the importance of having insurance. And, like, if you don't have insurance, that's money out of your pocket. I'm not willing to pull out or take out a loan if I don't need to, versus if you were prepared and paid 20, sometimes it's a month or 2 years a month. That makes a huge difference than having to come up with just to bury a family member. That's such a big deal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, I think your dad's like one of my favorite people. He's like he's like the nicest man ever. But that's kind of why we need to continuously, share this opportunity with people out there and just talk about and promote your business, because you don't never know who it's going to help. Like you and I actually, I met you a long time ago when I was at the old company. Mm-hmm. And then I remember your dad invited me over for lunch, met the family, but then you were not even of age to be able to sell insurance.
That's true.
You were in high school, maybe?
Wow. Yes.
Crazy. But then I remember at the time, he found out that I was doing this. He said, like, hey, I want to join. And for, various reasons, we had to start and stop. He had to take some time off for personal reasons. But then, here you are now because of those associations. You never know whose life you're gonna be able to touch by just, extending that opportunity to other people. And, your dad, I hope he comes back soon. But, the thing is, either way, like, this has been a net positive,
right,
with everything that just happened.
So yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity. And if you guys are brand new, guys, like, don't give up. One of the things that really got me started back into the company was someone told me, goes, maybe Christy, it's time for you to be brave and start investing in yourself. And sometimes that investment begins with a lead. So whether or not it's the old leads or the new leads, just start investing in yourself, because if you don't believe that you're worth it, no one else will. So start believing that you are worth it.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I love it. So, all right. Well, appreciate you coming on and sharing with us. I know yesterday when I told you to come on, you're like, oh, I'm nervous, I don't want to do it, but you killed it today.
Killed it.
Bye, guys.
All right. Well, we'll have you back on soon. Thanks, Christy.
Thank you.
It's funny when people are scared to hop on a Zoom call, but like comfortably ask strangers like their weight, social security number, like bank account information. It's just like, the reason is it's just, you just haven't done it.
Yeah.
So that first 3 times, it's going to get easier.
Yeah. Everything's about, just your perception of things, and your perception is off if you haven't done it before. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so true.
That was actually really cool. I mean,
yeah,
that was,
yeah, for sure. That's awesome, Christy.
Great job. That was excellent.
All right. Well,
a lot of information.
Yeah. So we were talking about different lead types. And, one thing I think we were talking about yesterday when I was on the phone with her, she was just like, she's went over, like, you don't know people's like levels of experience. You don't know what type of leads they worked. I mean, there's a lot of different factors that go into it. So, I mean, the thing is, I like what you're doing. So you bought a bunch of different leads and you're trying it out. Because when people say, like, what lead type's the best? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, there's no such thing as the best, because some people swear by live transfers. Some people swear by mortgage protection. Some people only will do these ones, only do work older leads, only will work mortgage leads, only will work instant leads, only whatever it is. So everyone has their own personal preferences that they've developed over time. But the thing is, if you have a preference, that's okay. But don't let someone dictate that to you. Because, like, if you have an upline that says, like, I only work these leads, and that's what's worked for me. I mean, who says that person has the most efficient business ever, right? Who says like that's the only way to do it? Like you got to go out there and experience this for yourself. So the thing is, you got to go into this knowing, yeah, you can make some mistakes.
Right.
You got to go into this knowing that not all lead, like a lead is a lead is a lead. It's not a sale.
Yeah.
Right. So you keep that perspective in mind and just go out there and just try different things because eventually you'll figure out what your preference is and you'll do that. But I don't know. I mean, business is an ever evolving thing, ever changing thing. So the thing is you might, whatever's working for you now might not work for you later. You might find something else that works for you better. And things change.
Yeah, I think it just comes back to your mentality. It comes back into your positive outlook of things, right? So going back to what you were saying, I remember listening to James Clear, and you read that book, right? For Atomic Habits.
Yep.
He said one of the best mentors that told me, when I asked him a question, what's like a positive message? He said, dude, you got to experiment things. You got to try things out until something comes easy to you. Okay. So when you hear somebody's lead perspective, that's their perspective of what came easy to them. Okay. If they feel like instants are working for them, that's the best thing. And they're saying that the old 1 month or 3 months don't work. That's their perspective. Okay. But the thing is, you can't use their judgment on your perspective and your experience. So, but you have to have that mind state of trying things out, experiment with it, figure out what's working for you, figure out if telesales is working for you, figure out if, in person is working for you. But you have to have that expansive energy of, okay, I'm here to make money. I'm here to help clients, not the fear of, oh, I'm losing investments. I'm losing my money on these leads. You're starting off at the wrong foot at that point, right?
Also, is there a lead where it's easy? Like you don't have to work and it just is easy? Because you said try until one of the leads is easy.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to make sure that, people understand, like at the end of the day, you're still going to have to call.
At the end of the day, the leads are just an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny, at the old company, there was people killing them on one type of lead, and then there's other people killing them on a different one. Sometimes it's our perception. It might not even be easier. You just have mentally decided that they're better, so you're more confident with them. It's almost like the chicken or the egg, right?
And I resonate with all these leads gathering as a caller today. And when I first came aboard, I was limited calling out for leads and making phone calls. But I noticed overall, it's 360 degrees. It's nothing but practice.
Yeah.
So a lead is a lead that I'm realizing that either I'm going to sit down or I'm not. I'm going to resolve that lead to I complete it completely. And it's practice for me. I'm going to perfect myself to that level of like just perfection as much as possible.
Yeah.
And things will change. I may have to make the adjustments as well as time evolves. And that's only normal, I notice. And I can't get frustrated, even though there would be tough times. But the point is, you're perfecting the DNA of sales within yourself and confidence. Because you're going to get knocked down, you're going to get picked up, you're going to have fun. But it's the balanced line, he's going to make deposits eventually.
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, you get just because some guy on the internet or some guy on Facebook or some guy complained about something doesn't necessarily make anything true.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't know what this guy's experience is. You don't know what his work ethic is. You don't know what his general disposition and if he's normally a negative person to begin with, we have no idea. So, I mean, to take that is all dangerous. Like, look at every day, like we come into the office and when we're trying to figure out where to go for lunch, we go on Yelp from time to time.
Yeah.
And then like we look at these reviews. How many times have you looked up a Yelp review? It's restaurants like great reviews, and then you ate and you're like, it's not so good.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like, some people will post certain things. They're like, oh, this is the worst restaurant I've ever ate at. And you eat there and you're like, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's to your taste.
So perception is someone else's perception. So the thing is, you need to just go out and experience these things for yourself. And I actually was looking this up earlier. I wrote it down because every time I explain it's different. But perception is merely a lens or mindset from which we view people, events, or things. Okay. We believe what we perceive to be accurate. And that's the key part. We believe whatever we perceive, we assume it's accurate.
That creates your reality right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And we create our own realities based on those perceptions.
Dang, I read that.
Yeah.
So although our perceptions may feel very real, that doesn't mean they're necessarily factual. So there's reality, which is whatever we've built up with all of our perceptions and what we perceive. But the thing is, it may not be actuality.
Yeah.
Yes.
It may not be factual. So whenever you take a piece of advice, like whatever I'm telling you right now, like you should go out there and figure it out for yourself too. The thing is, you need to experience this thing and don't just take someone at their word, because you're missing out on life. You're missing out on opportunities. You're missing out on things that you could be really good at. or things that could be really profitable for you, that could make you really happy, that could do something for you, and you're missing out because you listened to some other guy or some other gal.
Yeah.
Right. So, but speaking of bad perceptions or good perceptions or perception in general, people do talk about the instant and new internet life leads and whatnot. So you recently had some experiences with this.
Right. Yeah. So I've had, some agents that were talking about it, and I'm still in the field. I go out and buy CRM leads. I focus mainly on that because my mentality to this is that's what FFL is pushing, and that's what FFL is scaling. Okay. If I go out of that, then I can't scale and duplicate my business, right? So I got to be in
the same rate as FFL.
Exactly. And if I take an audible, can my audible be duplicated through the rest of my agencies, right? And then what's available right now in the CRM? There's instant leads and there's discounts on work spots. They threw out a 35% discount, then they threw out a 45% discount. So what did? I loaded up. So I had some experiences with some agents that are saying that, the leads don't work or the leads are not good. And I kind of feel the same way on certain things, but then I have a motto in my agency, eliminate emotions through trackable data, just through numbers, right? So, yes, I'm feeling some heats on some of the leads. I got some wrong numbers. I got some people that don't live there. It's part of the deal, right? That's what leads are. Leads are leads. It's an opportunity. But when I did my number and I eliminated that, but one thing I went over my meeting is, whatever you're feeling, whatever your perspective, just question that. Okay. Is there any truth to what you're feeling right now? Okay. And how do I dissect that? I dissect it through my numbers. So I did my math. Okay. I spent 200 leads. I bought 200 leads. I spent about on them because of the discounts. I bought 200 instant leads. Okay. That was from 2 dial days. Out of the 200 leads, I booked 20 appointments. Out of the 20 appointments, I sat down with 10. 5 of them were in person. 5 of them were in phone appointments. I suck at phone appointments. I sold 4 out of my 5 in-home presentations, and I did. Okay. Is that a good week? A bad week? I could have done better, but that's where I eliminate all of my perception, my reality, my emotion, and just look at straight raw numbers of, okay, I sold 4 out of 5. So I have a good, decent presentation in home. My show ratio is 50%. Below average, but that's including the phone appointments. And then out of my phone appointments, I sold none. So where do I look to improve? I got to improve on my phone presentations. Maybe I'm not as, animated on the phone. And I've mentioned that before because I feel like I'm very informational on the phone instead of building value compared to in person. Okay. So I can sell more based on my rapport building. So that's something I got to improve on. But if I eliminate my reality and my beliefs on these things, dude, I still have leads. I still made money. I still made profit. It's all about just increasing my skill one way or another in any points in the game.
So how many families did you help?
I helped 4.5. I don't know. 5.
I got
a really short guy.
I got a lot of bleep.
I know. We'll catch that post.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute you. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, I don't know what he's saying right now."
No, but I mean, that's all. Like, it's good information to be able to take in. Just you got to play the numbers out. And John's like a veteran. You've been in the industry for 14 years.
Right. So at the same time, so like when people are having experiences on leads, I took in a lot of good information from Kevin O'Leary from the convention. And he said, dude, most businesses, they fail because they cannot figure out their lead acquisition or their client acquisition cost, meaning that they spent more money on marketing before they made profit. And that pertains into our business. Some people, if you don't have the increased skill, you don't experiment enough, or you have the mentality of the leads are hurting you than helping you, you can end up buying more leads and not profiting, and then you're going down the hill. Okay. But you got to switch that mentality up. If the leads are not working, then you got to experiment on other things. But at the end of the day, we have a program, we have the products, we have the brokerage of anybody that we can sell under. Right? Anybody and everybody that's breathing and got a bank account or a credit card could be our client. So how are we not getting in front of so many people? You got to think outside the box that way and just figure out, how do I serve more families?
So yeah, man, I really want John to share, because we were talking about this on our own earlier. And I was like, yeah, it's good to hear when like people that have been around for a bit, we got to continuously adapt and learn in this business. It's not necessarily that the industry could change that much drastically, but the thing is, business, like conditions within your business will change.
Right.
So it's either that or you die. You know, you got to be able to learn how to adapt. You got to learn how to figure things out, and you know, just keep learning whatever it is. You know, you're never done learning. Landon, are you on here? I actually was talking to Landon the other day. He had a really cool story.
What's up, man?
Can you
hear me?
Landon? I can hear you.
Yep.
Awesome. Well,
Sorry.
thanks for joining us. You're out
For sure,
you're out in
man.
the field.
Yeah, I'm actually headed. We're getting ready to do an agent training in Tulsa.
Oh, you're kind of cutting in and out a little bit. So do you have a spot where you can get some steady signal?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, right here. I'm gonna pull over right here.
Oh, don't risk your life.
Can you hear me better now? No, you're good, man.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. No. Yeah, I'm headed to. We're getting ready to go do a agent training up in Tulsa.
Okay.
Let's go.
Nice.
All right. Okay. Well, actually, this all started off of a post that you put up that you helped this one family, and you're out in Arkansas, I believe.
Yeah, Arkansas.
Okay. So
Yeah,
start what type of lead it was, and you know how you came about that situation.
Yeah, so it was actually a 1 month final expense direct mailer that was there in Arkansas. It was about 2.5 hours away from my house. And we got on the phone, started dialing, and we booked a whole bunch of appointments. And whenever I talked to this guy on the phone. It was kind of a weird conversation, but he booked the appointment, and I got off the phone and I was like, okay, I'm just going to show up because he really didn't speak English, to be honest. Like, he didn't speak much English. He's like, oh, insurance. Yeah, that's okay. Come on. And I was like, okay. And I showed up, and he started pointing at his truck. He was like, you see, car insurance. Yeah, help. And I was like, no, bro, I'm not the car insurance guy. And I pulled up the form and showed him the final expense direct mailer that he had filled out. And he was like, I don't understand. And I was like, well, let's go sit down and I'll help you understand. Okay. And he said, okay. So we walked inside, and whenever I saw him take his shoes off and I looked at his floor, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the cleanest floor I've ever seen in my entire life. So I took my shoes off and I walked in, and we sat down, and I started trying to talk to him like a regular appointment. And I realized he really was not comprehending. He was like, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this dude has no idea what I'm talking about. So I asked him, I was like, dude, I kind of asked him, like, what language? I just said, what language? And he was like, he said Vietnamese. I said, oh, okay, perfect, man. So I pulled out my Google Translate, and it has a little speaker button on it. You can sit there and say whatever you're trying to say. And so I said what I was trying to say, and I hit the speaker, and it said it in Vietnamese.
Awesome.
And I told him, I said, hey, dude, you can talk. I told him through the translator, I said, you can talk Vietnamese to the speaker, and it's going to tell me in English. That way we can understand each other. And we did. And I have the whole conversation recorded, but end up being able to help him. And it was really cool.
Send awesome.
It. How long did the whole exchange take?
I was actually telling Darren earlier. So I'm getting faster in the home. And it actually, with all that stuff, it only took 42 minutes in and out of the house to get him to understand what all was happening. And it was something different. But the reason why I knew I could go to Google Translate was because I actually met with some deaf couples before. Mm-hmm. And there was an app for the deaf people that I could talk to.
We might need that app right now, huh?
I know. We're losing you.
We're losing you, Landon.
Really? Yeah, I'm out here in the redneck woods.
You might be good now if you want to start again.
Yeah, go ahead and resume.
Oh no, but I knew I could. I knew to go ahead and do that because I had met with some deaf people in Kansas City, Missouri, and I had to use an app to communicate with them. So I was like, there's got to be a way I could help him. He filled out the form, whether he understood what it was or not, I don't know. He didn't fill out everything that comes in the mail. But I knew my whole mission for the day was to go out and serve and protect the families that I got to see. And for me, I prayed over every single house before I went to it, every single lead. I prayed, God, just let me be in the right mindset. Let me be who you call me to be. Take me out of it and just let me serve these families. And it was a very encouraging day. It was good. I got to help, I think, 5 or 4 families.
Wow.
Can you guys? But yeah. Also, I wanted to say, I wanted to give a shout out to Albert, and I appreciate you, man. Right before this Zoom, I got to get on a call with Talise. She's a mindset coach, and it was awesome. It was very good. A lot of informational stuff, and right now I rate myself at a 5 out of 10 off of my abilities, what I think I can do right now. So I just have a lot of room for growth. So I'm excited for the future.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you're more than a 5 out of 10, whatever that metric was. I mean, I appreciate the humility, but I mean, that goes back to like what we were talking about with John. I mean, like this, we can always improve. We can always continue to learn and improve our business. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think that's great. Also, I mean, I just love that story. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you. But I mean, I was going to say, I love that story because, we've come out and visited you in your neck of the woods. You're part of the country. And we drove around. I mean, there's not too many Asian people. When I was there, you guys had one. Right?
we had one person that was a cross-dresser and accidentally called him a girl. That was great.
Yeah, we ran into that too. but I mean, I think I think this is the thing that we all need to like keep in mind. Somebody filled out that lead. I mean, we don't know what they were thinking. We don't know like what state of mind. We don't know if they were drunk. We don't know whatever. I mean, we don't control any of that part. But someone filled it out for some reason.
Yeah.
So the thing is, at some point, somebody needed help, right? Or maybe someone's on there messing around, but we can't control any of that. But the thing is, if someone's filled it out, that means they needed help. So in like Landon's situation, this guy booked the appointment, thought it was for car insurance. Mm-hmm. And then Landon showed up, and because he did his job, and because he was committed to helping out that family. The thing is, he became resourceful and pulled out his phone and started using Google Translate. Because how many people would have just been like, "Oh, you can't understand me? All right, bye, I'm out."
Yeah, mm-hmm. He didn't lose faith.
Yeah,
and then that family would have never got that coverage they needed. The thing is, he couldn't even communicate all that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yet at the end of the day, like we're all just people.
And not just that, but at the end of the day, whether the lead was good or bad, it was an opportunity, right? And he got in front of a client and got to talk about helping them with life insurance.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it worked out.
Right.
It worked.
So, I mean, I think we all need to bear that in mind the next time like we're calling, and you could be speaking the same language as the person that's on the other end of the phone. You could be talking the same language as the person that's in front of you, but a lot of times, maybe we're not listening. A lot of times, maybe we're just trying to get our point across, and then whatever they're saying, like we're interpreting in a certain way. Our perception is whatever is coming out of their mouth is we're perceiving it in a different way, and then we're sending it back something messed up to them, and so that they're not receiving it the same way. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different things. I mean, let's just take personal responsibility for as much as we can, and then just try to find a solution and for any situation that we can. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you just put in that effort and you put in that time and you put people first and you just try to help people out, I mean, good things will happen, like what's happened for Landon and that family. That's your buddy now, right, Landon?
There you go.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I also wanted to say, on top of that, just take yourself out of every situation. Whenever you're dialing, don't dial for yourself. Dial to protect families. Dial to serve families. Dial because they filled out the lead and they deserve the best version of you. So take yourself out of it and just be a servant and just be willing to go as far as you need to go to help these families. Because had I went farther, or had somebody went farther, my family could have got better protected for my grandpa. So just take it serious and take you out and just serve the family.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, Landon. Especially for you. Like, I salute you because all your stories. None of these are home. None of these are you driving 2 hours out in different states, right?
Yeah, man, for sure.
So that's another thing about leads. if whatever leads that you perceive are not working for you, and you want to continuously tell yourself this isn't working, be like Landon, go get leads elsewhere. Go to another state, go to another county. Like there's always options out there. There's always potential solutions. So the thing is, unless you've worked every single type of lead and you've worked it long enough and you've honed your skills and you've done this for long enough, you know, you fought through certain struggles, and then you tried everything that's available out there, and then you can honestly say, like, I did my best and I did everything I was supposed to do and it didn't work out, then that's one thing.
Yeah.
Like maybe this wasn't for you, but I guarantee you, for most of those people that are in certain situations where they feel stuck, you haven't tried nearly every option out there.
Right. And then if you are feeling stuck, you know, shout out to Talise. Please book book an appointment with Talise. You know, if you feel like your mindset is not right, you need a reset. She does have openings on her schedule on Calendly. Feel free to hit up Albert about it. And then a 30-minute conversation could probably change your mindset into this business.
Yeah. Our performance coach has been working out great. We've had a lot of people that have started their sessions with her, and, you know, heard a lot of great reviews. A lot of people said it's been very helpful. So if you guys need any of that, reach out to me. Like, if you need it for anything else, or reach out to any of us. Just wanted to thank Christy, want to thank Landon for getting on and sharing their awesome stories with us. Want to thank John, want to thank Solomon, want to thank Yoel. And for all of you guys getting on, we want to just want to let you guys know, appreciate you guys. So, you know, let's make a productive week. Let's go out there and be elite, guys.
All right, guys.
All right.